Welcome to the Catrice Root Show. Have no intro. That is my intro. Thank you guys for coming back and watching. We couldn't do Tuesday's episode. I was not about to... hold on, let me just introduce you. I'm just about to just get into it. This is my friend Titus. His rap name is Trilla T. This is who we're going to be talking to today on the podcast, getting to talk about some deep things, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of everything. Yes,
ma'am. I'm glad to be here. I've seen the one that you did with Paul, and I was like, this is interesting, and hopefully me and her can do it. It's funny because I never reached out to you about doing it, and you reached out to me about doing it. And I was like, perfect.
Yeah, I would prefer for it to be where I reach out to you because I genuinely want to work with you, because I have people reach out to me, but it'd be people that I don't want to interview, but one person I already said yes to, so I'm not going to go back and say no. But it's like, if I don't reach out to you, then I don't want to interview you, But, I kind of look at it as almost like payola when people do that.
Right.
Like, can you interview me? I'm like, no, not really. Anyways, but no, like on the last podcast that we did, me and Paul did, I asked him at the very end, I said, who you think I should interview next? And he said Trilla T. So that's how... Like, I was like, okay, yeah, that'd be a good idea. And I was already thinking about you anyway, so I was like, Let's do it.
Thank you to Paul, and thank you to yourself for, being able to put other people on your platform and people like us in my group. So happy for all the stuff you do for us.
Yeah, no problem. Like, thank you. Like, I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have built up my portfolio of video music. Like, you were like you and your group was one of the very first group of people I really consistently worked with on a professional level, and then after that it was like more and more people. So thank you for actually giving me my start with video and all that stuff. So
no problem.
So guys, we're here, you know what I'm saying. We couldn't film Tuesday's episode because we were going to film this on Tuesday, but I didn't bring my SD card, and I already didn't want to film on Tuesday because I was still wrapped up in the Kobe Bryant thing. Rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to his daughter. I pray his family will be comforted, and I pray the other families that, that dealt with their losses will be comforted as well, because this is tragic. And I'm just it was hard for me to even do the podcast, but I was thinking, I was literally about to call the podcast off anyways Tuesday, but I was I don't know, I was looking at a video of Kobe Bryant. I was like, Kobe Bryant wouldn't want me to call off the podcast. He wouldn't want me to do that. And then so I was like, let's continue to do the podcast. I showed up and I was setting everything up. Everything was set up and ready to go. And then I didn't have my SD card. I'm like, maybe that was Kobe Bryant testing me, just trying to see how dedicated I am. And I was because it was hard, bro. It was really, really hard yesterday to do anything, honestly.
Yeah. Felt like the earth stood still. Everybody was affected. Even if you didn't come from a basketball background, you were still affected by it because in some way you were still inspired by Kobe. I wasn't really into watching basketball like that, but every time I did, when he was in the league, I'd always saw a Kobe highlight somewhere off of some top 10 play, and everybody's always talking about the 81 points. So one day I YouTubed that, and I saw that. But yeah, man, I was inspired by Kobe from some shots that he had made. There's that signature bank shot that he always did.
Yes.
And I was always trying to perfect that, but I could never do it.
All of us were trying to perfect it. What are you talking about? But same here. I feel like a lot of us, it's all of us have a love for Kobe, whether we look at basketball or not, whether if we played it or not. I would say for me growing up, the Lakers was my very first team I've ever grew up. When I first started looking at basketball, I went for the Lakers because that's when Kobe Bryant was on there. And like I said, I would always see Kobe Bryant on TV. And me as a little kid, I'm like, oh, I like their colors. So that's mostly the main reason why I went for that team, because of their colors. And then I started hearing a lot about Kobe Bryant. This is when I was little, because mind you, I was very much so into sports before I got deeper into music. I was into acting and I was into sports for a long, long time. So when I was a little kid, 4 or 5 years old, Lakers was my number one team, and that's during the time when Kobe Bryant was really that's Kobe Bryant. You know, like he was really in there. Like that was back in the years of like 2002, 2003 and on up. And I didn't really switch my team until towards the end of Kobe's career. Well, not really towards the end. Like I would say when I got around the age of like 10 and 11 years old, I switched to the Celtics. But like the Lakers was still always like in my top 3 of teams. It was like Celtics, Lakers, and Bulls. That's how I was. And then once like Kobe left, that's when I really kind of stopped looking at basketball. Once he left, because I was like, it's not really interesting anymore. But I still look at the Celtics when they play. But like when Kobe was on, like I would make sure I would try to watch some game, like, you know, at least one of them, you know.
My friend Jordan. He's actually like really heavily Kobe influenced. Like every time we play basketball, he already has a Mamba mentality. And I think I remember my freshman or sophomore year of college, and we all got together and played 2K, and we I think I told you the story yesterday.
Yeah.
We put 4 Kobes from 4 different years, and we played them with players that are in the league now, and we got busted every single time. I forgot, it was this one thing. I think Kobe had threw an alley to another Kobe, and he had put it through his legs and slammed it backwards, and we was like, I'm not playing this game ever again.
Oh my God.
Because it makes no sense, but it's Kobe.
Yeah, it's Kobe. Even in the game, it's Kobe. What are you talking about? You know, but I feel like Kobe has inspired all of us. If it wasn't for Kobe Bryant, I wouldn't have even made an attempt to play basketball if it wasn't for him. Because like I said, Kobe Bryant and the Lakers team during the early 2000s, like that was my team. Like that's who I looked at, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I will always be like, I'm trying to like, you know, do this and that, you know. I would just be inspired by the Lakers. Because like I said, I used to play basketball, and I, you know, even tried out for the middle school team. Did not make it because I was terrible at the rules. But I knew how to play still. I just didn't know the rules, you know, all that extra stuff, you know. But, you know, after that, I just kind of drifted away from sports. But I still always watch it every once in a while. But rest in peace to Kobe. You know, and like I said, even if you didn't play basketball, like he inspired you in other ways, too, of just his words of inspiration and motivation. And even, like, watching his short film, I'm like, this guy is freaking amazing. You know, and just seeing the way he would inspire the youth as well. Big inspiration, you know. So rest in peace to Kobe and
his family.
And yeah. Whew, man.
My praise. It's a sad thing. I think I was on the phone with my dad talking about that. My dad, he has, you know, 2 girls, and it's just sad as a father. From a father's perspective, if you see, you know, a father and his daughter dying, and it was something like you said, it was something about that death that like Kobe wasn't supposed to go that way, and it was just sad that he was going to a practice, wasn't he?
Yeah, game practice, you know, with his daughter.
It's just sad that they had to go like that, and the fact that she was only 13. Is she didn't even get to experience like what possibilities her life had for her, since she was so good already, and she was definitely going to continue that legacy for her father. And my heart and soul and prayers go all to everybody in that family, especially Vanessa and his other 3 daughters, I believe.
Like, it's just, oh my goodness, like, it's very, very tough, you know, to like even just watch it. And like I said, it's just something in my spirit. It's like he wasn't supposed to go out like that. Like, it just bothers me, you know. And then I was just telling a friend yesterday, I was like, you know, even with his daughter, like you could tell his daughter was destined for greatness, and she was not going to give up on basketball. Like she was into it, you know. And like he even said in the interview, she got him back into basketball. I'm like, that's how you know she liked basketball. If you can get Kobe Bryant back into watching basketball, like come on now. Like she was destined for so much. Like I said, the whole situation is just like very, very unfortunate, you know. But yeah. But
Rest in peace, Kobe.
rest in peace to everybody on that
Gone but
plane.
never forgotten.
Yeah. Man, but moving on to like a more lighter topic.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Okay. Like I'm like, okay, but moving on to a lighter topic. This is Trilla T again. He's a rapper, and I just want to talk to you about the origins of what got you into rapping. What got you into rapping? Who, and also who inspired you to start rapping? Like, was it musicians, like certain type of like hip hop musicians, or was it musicians outside of hip hop?
Actually, I grew up when I was younger. My dad would always be in the studio. He made his own songs, but he had a group at a time, and he would go in the studios, come back, and every time I would hang with him, that's all we would listen to, his music, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Like I preferred it over some of the stuff that was on the radio. I remember on multiple occasions while I'll be in the car and the radio will be playing, and I asked my dad, I'd be like, Dad, can we hear one of your songs? And he'll pop in the CD and hear that. And he actually gave me my first experience in recording. So that was really heavy on my life. And then after I decided to get more serious with it, people like Busta Rhymes, Black Thought, Pharrell, A$AP Rocky, Kid Cudi, Kendrick, Fat Joe, Mace, B.I.G., Eminem, Royce the 5'9", all those, like,
Yeah.
they were heavy on my life. Danny Brown.
Oh my, yo, I was just looking at an interview with Danny Brown last night. I'm like, how can you not love Danny Brown?
They were heavy on my life because they were doing stuff that was so different. I haven't heard anything like them. And
Right.
it inspired me to keep going, do some research, improve my vernacular so I can say stuff that nobody else has ever said, instead of just keeping the same old flow and this stuff that's so mainstream now that people find so popular. It's not, different.
Right.
And the people that I just named, they, strive to be different in their career. So they were heavy inspirations on my life, and I think that's what took my what's the word? One second. It made me want to start get serious with this stuff.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's up. Like, I feel like it's always a group of artists or a person in our life that's going to inspire us with music to start taking it more seriously.
Right.
I mean, even for myself, like me growing up watching my dad go to the studio, he did mostly Christian rap, but like he was one of the very first artists that made me like, I want to go to the studio, even though I didn't know what was going on. I just wanted to go to the studio because I knew it had like music instruments there.
Right.
Even though I was in primary school, I knew what music instruments were. I was like, I want to go to the studio, So it's like that already had that passion in me to like want to record music, and as I got older, I started getting serious with it. Like it's something like we almost got like kind of like a similar story on that, and that's dope. Like you look up to artists that make you want to improve yourself, that's always like very, very important, but moving a little bit forward in time, like what made you want to like create a group or join a group? How did the group, the Daydreamers, even come about?
Well, me and Cullen were always cool. We was always rapping. By the way, if they don't know, I'm in a group called the Daydreamers.
Yeah.
It consists of 3 people: King Cullen M, Scotty King, and it's myself, Trilla T. We are a Suffolk-based rap group. Officially originated in 2016, I believe.
So I started working with y'all pretty early.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, Cullen was always around me since middle school, and we was always rapping in the back of the bus, always. And there was a talent show, a 6th grade talent show. It's still footage on YouTube somewhere. And we was actually supposed to do solo acts, and the teacher was like, "Okay, y'all two are rapping, y'all gonna rap together." It was like, bet. So he just said he gonna go first, and I'm gonna go right after him. We were supposed to have a beat, but forget it. They couldn't even find the beat. They couldn't. It was some technical difficulties.
Why did they do that?
But But yeah, me and him always was cool. We didn't start a group though. It didn't come about my mind to start a group until I was with Sky. Me and Sky are actually related.
Yeah.
And we were in his room, and at first we was gonna be a group of producers. We weren't gonna rap. We was gonna be a group of producers on
Super producers.
on guitar lab and guitar is that garage band. Garage band. And we was making beats, and it wasn't even the Daydreamers at first. Can you guess what our name was?
What?
Keds. Kedz. Keds.
The shoes. I'm sorry. I'm like...
Keds. I don't know why Sky thought. I don't know why he thought of Keds, but it was so like I was like, yeah, I'm messing with the Keds. I like Keds.
No.
And we was like, wait, we're gonna change it to something, better like the Daydreamers. And still. Even that, we were still the Daydreamers. We were still making beats, and it was like, we can rap. We want to rap. We're gonna add people to the group. So we added this dude named Andrew and this dude named Caleb. They both made beats, and then we added. I said we gotta get Cullen because me and Cullen was always tight. So boom, that was the first Daydreamers, like the first Daydreamers before. We knew where it was gonna take us. We was like, this gonna be the group. We're gonna make songs, and we got 2 producers, and we lit. But stuff didn't go as planned, and people had different beliefs on the situations, and they didn't think stuff would get serious. Sky was going through some things, so he had to leave, and he wasn't really focused on rap. Moving on forward towards high school. I believe me and Cullen had put out a project together, and we had just got this dude named Jeff who was on the football team. So we were the Daydreamers.
Oh, wow.
And we put out our first ever project called Welcome to Society, and it featured him. And after that, Jeff kind of he kind of flew back. He was gone. He was not responding to any of us, and we were trying to get songs and trying to get all the features ready so we could post it, and he wasn't even texting us back. We were trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm pretty sure he didn't have a phone at the time, but there was no way he could tell us.
Right.
So he eventually just moved over, and Sky had hit me up, and at that time I had my first ever recording equipment. I had a snowball mic hooked up to my computer, and I had Audacity, and we was recording on our own in my living room. And Sky came over, and we had recorded a song called Trash Can, and we dropped it. And the next day, everybody at school was like, "Who is this? Like, you ain't tell me Sky was rapping."
Right.
And I was like, well, I thought y'all knew, Everybody found us surprised, so did Cullen. And then Cullen, when Cullen did this, boy, I was like, oh, Lord, this is about to start something. Cullen had reached out to Sky and was like, I want to get you on a song called Gang. And Sky ripped the verse, and the whole song was amazing. And then, so I was like, Sky had said, he made it like a Daydreamers reference in his verse. So I was like, so you a part of the Daydreamers again? He was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, you leave again. There's going to be some problems. But I did not create the Daydreamers at all. It was actually Sky.
Okay.
And being that, Sky was going through some stuff at the moment, I had to take over. That's why they always call me the captain, even though I don't really see myself as a captain. But they always call me the cap because I kept it going. But, yeah, that was our, official Daydreamers. The end of 2016, that was our official year. I think a couple years after that, 2018, we released our first album as a Daydreamers called DDOD, which means Daydreamers or Die. And yeah, I think that's how we started.
Wow. It's like I'm glad to know like the full original story, because like working with you guys, I would just know like bits and pieces, but it's good to just know like from start to present day how it is. Like that's so dope. And like now, like say like with the Daydreamers moving forward, like what are you guys looking forward to now? What are you guys gonna be trying to do? Like, are y'all gonna like keep it going just with y'all three, or are y'all gonna like what are y'all just, I don't know, like I don't even know how to explain it. Just what are y'all doing moving forward?
It's funny that you say keep it going with y'all three because we actually, it's this dude that's friends with Sky. I think they went to school together if I'm not mistaken. But they always hung out around each other, chilled at each other's crib, played a game and all that stuff. And he really wasn't into rapping. He would listen to rap, the same music that we listen to, but he wasn't really rapping himself. And I think the end or the beginning of this year, he decided he really wanted to get serious with it. And he started rapping, and he's really good. Like he would progress every time we took him to the studio. And if anybody would be a fourth member, we're probably gonna add him and the dude Swami.
Oh yeah. I remember y'all talking about him one time.
Me and Swami actually have a project coming out this year called Drain, and we decided, we want to add him too. But before anything gets official, we want to establish DDOD as a label,
right?
Moving on forward, so we can add artists to our label, and those will be the first two artists.
That's what's up.
But we have, okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning. We have plans this year to go to Cali and Miami, and I think back to New York to record in different studios, connect out there to see what we can do, how we gonna progress in the game, doing stuff that's different because everybody really records in the same areas back from where we're from, and nobody's really going out of state to perform or record anywhere and connect like that. So that's really big on us. We have, I know I'm dropping my solo album this year.
Ooh, I'm gonna be on the lookout for that.
I believe Sky's dropping a mixtape.
Okay.
And I don't know what Cullen's doing.
Cullen, he just dropped like a ton of music.
Cullen, just dropped an album. I know we have another Daydreamers album coming out. Not sure when that's gonna be. I'll give you details on that when I know.
Please do.
But we have a collab album with this producer that we went to school with, and he started making beats like 2018, 2017, and we had just found out about him. He was sending us beats, and we had rapped on one of his beats. Oh, wow. And he was like, I want to do a whole tape with y'all. So we put everything in the works, and we're almost finished with that tape. So that tape will be coming out this year too. But other than that, just a lot of videos, a lot of visuals. We're gonna be doing a lot of Trillas. You're gonna see us on the gram posting a lot of material about our music. And Instagram promotions. Yes. And promoting any way we can. We're gonna try to get a lot of performances, and so y'all can see us on stage and the energy that brings. Yeah,
because I would say like, whenever I see people perform, like video footage of them performing, it shows me that they're more serious. Like whenever I see artists have music videos or them performing on stage, that's letting me know like, okay, this artist is serious. They ain't just dropping music just to be like dropping music, and saying like, oh, I'm a serious, like you can do that too, but it's like, it just shows like you're really putting in the effort when you have visual content, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Visuals is everything in the game. If they don't see what you're doing or see some type of energy behind what you're saying, they're gonna get distracted quick. Keeping an audience's mind is like, entertaining a child. A child can get distracted by anything just like that. Yes. So you got to always find a way to reel that 30 seconds of fame in some more and entertain the audience. Because at the end of the day, that's what everybody in the industry is, just entertainers. Rapper, singer, actor, you're all entertaining somebody. So I'm going to go a little bit in depth with that this year and try to make some changes, make some big changes.
Dope. And aside from like that side of music with you, I wanted to talk about drumming, because like for people that know of Titus as a rapper, some people don't know that you're also a drummer. Yeah. So like, how did that even start? Like, and how did you go so far with it?
Boy, man, drumming. Well, I know for a fact the movie Drumline came out in 2002, the original one. I honestly hate the second one, but the original one, that is what actually inspired me. For a long time, I was like, I'm going to Atlanta A&T. I didn't even know Atlanta A&T wasn't a school. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to find out how to go. And I always wanted to play snare. my uncle had got me my first pair of drumsticks, and I broke those a long time ago. And not only that, I would get inspired by the drummer that was playing for our church. Me and my mom went to this church called Rising St. James at the time, and we had the church was family owned and family ran, so everybody that was in the musicians area would be in the same family. And there was a dude named Delion that was my age, not my age, but a little bit younger than me, and he was just killing it on the set. And I didn't know anything about it, and I really wanted to play and wanted to find out how to, do all that stuff. So I tried to ask people to help, and they would always deny me. Be like, there was this dude that was a part of the family. No lie, true story. Can't make this up. He said, I think I was 7 when I asked him, can I play? And he was like, wait till you're 9. I said, okay. Waited till I'm 9. He said, I went back when I was 9. He said, wait till you're 12. I said, okay. Waited till I was 12. I came back when I was 12. He said, wait till you're 15.
Bruh.
15. Came back at 15. He was like, okay, we can get started. We had one lesson, and it didn't teach me anything. Other than that, I had another lesson with this dude named Donnie. I had one lesson with him, and that taught me more about everything. He just told me you need to feel the groove. You need to, just stay calm and realize that you're in charge of the tempo, and they're not gonna know you mess up unless you show it on your face that you messed up. So just keep calm and just drum. And that advice took me a long way. Going back to the college and playing on the drum line,
Right.
I don't remember practicing as much, but I remember one thing. I went to Kings Fork High School, and the first day of me going to band camp and all that, I went to the percussion instructor, and he said, play a paradiddle on your shoe. A paradiddle is a rudiment that's right, left, right, left, right, left, left.
Okay.
And I played a drag, which is, that's not a paradiddle.
Oh.
He said, play a paradiddle on your shoe, and I played a drag. And I was like, oh, wow. And he was like, yep, you're playing cymbals. And played cymbals, and I was just trying to get right with that. And once I got to the point where I can control my cymbals and play, they made me section leader of the cymbals. And then after I became section leader of the cymbals, they was like, well, you got hands, so we're going to put you on bass. Then I played third bass drum, and I moved up from third to second to first bass drum, which made me captain of the bass drums. And then for my final year in high school, I finally got to play snare. And it's funny because growing up in church, they will always talk about speak things that is not as though it were. So I will always pray and be like, God, please make me a drummer. I promise I want to play in high school. I'm going to play in college. And he was opening them doors. I didn't even know it. And I was playing, and I was section leader of my high school drum line in my last 2 years of high school playing snare.
Man.
And then I got recruited here at Virginia Union to play snare, and that was always my dream, to play snare for a collegiate drum line, because I would see all my friends or people that I went to school with, and they were in a higher grade, and they would go to college like NSU, VSU, playing snare, and I'd be like this looks amazing. I definitely want to do this.
Right.
And the fact that it actually opened up, and I had the chance to do it, and I had the chance to become the section leader of the drum line here, it's just amazing.